Hi, I'm John Hassan, Executive Editor of American Business Media. I'm here with David DelVecchio, who's the president of Suite 3. We're at the Great New England Credit Show at the MGM Casino in Springfield. And when you come to a show like this, what are you hoping to get from it?
Well, it's kind of a combination. We see a lot of our existing clients and friends at shows like this, so it's an opportunity to see them outside of the normal business environment and a chance to catch up. Also gives us a chance to talk about new technologies as a technology business. We're always trying to bring kind of a advanced view of what might be coming, which is why we spoke on the subject we did today.
Right. And that subject was Microsoft 365 and the Team Suite. Can you tell me a little bit about that and why it's a good product for community banks and credit unions?
Sure, and actually well outside of that sphere.
Yeah, right.
Quite often a lot of organizations first look to Microsoft's 365 platform as a means to move their email from an in-house Exchange server to the cloud. But as part of those subscriptions that include email often give you access to other applications, one of which is the Teams platform. What's unique about Teams is it allows you to build groups and channels where you can actually thread conversations. So unlike sending an email to a distribution group that clogs your inbox when you get 47 replies and you don't really care and you want to ignore the conversation, but then 3 months ago when you want to look it back up again, it's hard to find because you've deleted it, you can have all of that in a threaded feed within Teams. One of the big marketing angles of Teams is that you can cut down your inbox volume dramatically, and I didn't really expect that to happen in our organization as much as it did. Our internal email communication since we started leveraging Teams has gone down to almost zero, and Teams has become the internal communication platform for our company.
And how many people are at your company?
27.
And so 27 people, and they're not using email.
The only time we tend to see internal email is if an external email came from somewhere and they forwarded it along to say, hey, take a look at this. But our internal communications is almost purely through the Teams platform because it's a more efficient way to thread conversation.
Right. So you're not done with email, you're done with internal email.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you were comparing this Teams platform to Slack.
Yes. Yeah, if anybody's familiar with the Slack platform, when it came out, it was a little bit revolutionary. Microsoft took a step back and said, well, it's kind of like technology we already had built for the Yammer platform. It's kind of like technology we had in Skype for Business. And what they ended up doing was taking solutions they already had in place, redesigning it for the cloud, and building a better mousetrap. And the one leg up that Teams has versus Slack is that it has all of the integration with other Microsoft products. So if you're familiar with Word and Excel and you love Outlook as your mail client, the adoption of Teams is much easier because it's familiar.
But it's a subscription piece, right?
It is, and but as I said before, if your organization has a subscription for a hosted Exchange for email, Teams is included in those subscriptions, almost exclusively. We'd have to work with individual clients. For folks that would be in the credit union space, I could say that definitively. Some of the other subscriptions for some other industries are a little bit different.
Now, on those team internal communications, you don't find the crowding and the too much. The how do I find that thing? How do you fix that aspect? That you're talking about for email, which how email can bog you down. How do you avoid that with Teams?
Well, a couple different ways. In one, right up front, you've built out a structure that's allows you to organize the information. So if someone were to want to do a post that's relevant to, for example, in our organization, I want to let our staff know that we have new identification cards. Our employee identification badges are in, come pick one up. I would post that under our all-staff team in the HR channel, and then people would see that, oh, the new badges are in, and they'll come pick them up. So it's a way to kind of post information that people can kind of go back and view, and it's already been organized in a place that makes sense. Right. The other half of it is that it sticks around, and the search feature in Teams is phenomenal. Really the fact that it's cloud-based kind of makes it even that much more impressive because we've got over almost a year and a half worth of traction and data in our database, and I can do a keyword search and get the whole list for the entire history and be able to find those related posts immediately.
Because I find it frustrating to search for emails on Outlook.
Oh yeah.
Because if I type in Dave DelVecchio, I'll get everything you sent and everything that was sent to you.
Right.
And it doesn't help. It narrows it down a little bit, but it doesn't really. I want ones from Dave. And it just doesn't seem to appeal.
Sure.
What other software solutions do you offer or do you talk about?
Well, I mean, in general terms, we tend to boil down the nature of the work we do into three categories. We try to manage our clients' IT assets through their life cycle. So a lot of it is asset management and planning for refresh cycles, which we're just neck deep in right now. With Windows 7 going end of life January 2020, many organizations are upgrading their desktops to Windows 10. So we're doing tons of Windows 10 refresh projects right now as part of the management of the assets. We also look to secure their environments at the perimeter. So that means wireless, both public and private. That means firewalls and security, remote access solutions. And then we look to protect data. And that's including local and off-site copies of the data for disaster recovery purposes, as well as DR testing and planning. What we tend to find is that those three categories kind of all encompass all of the traditional infrastructure that we've supported for years, the servers, the SANs, the VMware, and all of the kind of below the waterline. I always say IT is like a iceberg, right? Users only see a little bit above the line, whereas there's all of that stuff below the waterline. So there's been a lot of infrastructure that's still out there. Now you're leveraging cloud in parallel to that as well, like Office 365.
Well, Dave, thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope you have a good show. I enjoyed your presentation. I hope you have the rest of the day goes well for you.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.